Hello everyone, this is Shelby with Shelby Creations. Welcome to the Dragon's Den and welcome to my mess. And right now it is a mess, but there's a reason. First of all, this conglomeration of boxes and papers and stuff, this is where the covers for my junk journals start. So move that aside for a moment. But it's not just there. I also have hardback book covers, some from cardboard, everything in here. Some are old and tattered, but don't throw these away. These are excellent to make the old book covers from. And something like this you would want to do maybe a hidden spine with, and we've made those before, but I mean, just look at my little stack of treasures. Then I get back to here, and I try to keep my boxes that I cut down back here, because when it's full, which it's not full, it sort of keeps them not folded over. So in order to get to here, from here, we have to trim them down. And I know a lot of people are, I know some of you are a little anxious about actually trimming a box down, because it's like, well, I can't get it even. Well, if you have a paper trimmer, it's really easy. Now, you don't need to have one just like this. This is the Fiskars Precision. You can use a regular one, but what you want to look for to begin with is where your box opens up at. And for this one, it's on the side. Now, if it doesn't want to open up easy, simply take your scissors and go down that side. And I'll show you just a second by what I mean it's where it was glued together at. So from here, I'm going to lay this down, and I can see where the top folded. Now it may take a little bit if you have a smaller trimmer, but I'm just going to lay that down there. I just want to get this edge here off. Now, from there, I want to see how long. All right, so I can get one that's probably 4.5 inches, and then another one that's a tad longer. And then I'm just trimming that down. Now, to get, that's definitely, I didn't trim that very straight, but that's okay. I can come right back here. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to move that up, because that is more of a straight edge, and just trim that edge off. Now, you see where you've got the bend? This is where we want to measure from, that bend right there. You see there's a crease going down each side. Use that crease as your mark on where to do them. Now, I like doing about, on the smaller ones, like 3.5 inches. Those are a good size for your smaller journals. Trim it there. Turn it over. I'm going to measure again at 3.5. And trim that off. And there, we've got even sides. We've got our cover. And all we have to do is use it for our journal. So there goes one. And let's see, let me trim this side up a bit better, because that was the wonky side there. Trying to get, Amora wants to get under here. trim that one up. Now again, remember I was doing it at 3.5. So I'm going to come in here at 3.5 and just lay that right there so that the middle of that score line is right on that. Turn it over, we'll do the other side. Again, come in here at 3.5. And, oops, hold that down. There we go. Now, I've got 2 covers here for some small junk journals. Just like that. And now these can easily fit into my little thing over there. I tote, my little crate, whatever it is. Everybody's got different names for everything. So, put all that trash in. Now, some of you that know me also know that I love doing miniatures, and even at my age, yes, I'm 63, but I love doing Legos. And I got the bonsai tree for Christmas, and I saved the box because this was, let me see how it goes together here. This was actually the box that way, and I cut it apart. And now I have 2 that I can use for junk journal, and they're bigger. But those Lego boxes are very stiff, and they make great, great covers. So let me get these set aside and put in here also. So you don't just have to stick with cereal boxes and cracker boxes and cookie boxes. Now, I'm gonna figure out which side this opens from and simply cut down that way. Now, if you're going to use like the bigger ones here, what I like to do with this one is I'll put the whole thing in there, but I want to decide on where I want my edge to be. So on these larger ones, I like to do it right up to, and this is at 5.5. I'll hold that down. Now these tend to move up because that's the way the box was done. Simply go down that way, turn it over, and again line this up where it's at the 5.5 inch, which is where it splits on these. Put that down, trim that off. Now by split, I mean that's where you can fold it over. So now I can come in here, and with these I don't have to, you know, I can sort of do both of the sides at one time, because this is a heavy-duty rotary cutter. And then bring it down, and there is another one. Put that in there. Now, another thing we get that's great for journals is the packing material. So on things like this, no, I'm not going to use the, let me put this up for a minute and I'll show you where we're going. Because this has a tendency to move when I'm cutting with it. Do you know what I mean when I say it folds up? I put one of those shelf liners, you know, the foamy ones underneath it, whether it's sitting here or if it's sitting on its little cutting table. That way it doesn't slide all over the place. Now, back to the packing paper. This we get in when we order stuff. Don't throw it away. It may be a little thin for, you know, if you want to use it as pages in your journal, but when it comes to covering your journal, and I always like to cover mine. I mean, I can set it, well, it's not going to be that way, but I can come this way, trim this off, and use it to cover the outside of my journal. Now, I know it seems like, you know, yeah, that's a lot to do, but I mean, if you're going to use the, you don't want this to show through. If you're using, you know, a lighter color paper or whatever, we want this to be hidden. So what I do is, just a minute, I got to pull this out. Now this is one of what I would call an expensive supply. This is 6-inch wide scrapbook.com double-sided sticky tape. Yes, it's expensive, but, and you can get it, I think I get mine from a Cherry on Top, and they usually have it at half price what scrapbook.com has it, but you can get it on sale. Wait till it goes on sale, and I usually go through one of these in a year. So yeah, it's pretty good in that aspect, that because I don't use it a lot. But let me see if I can find the I need a cutting pad here. And I mean, and this is all getting ready to get our covers going. So, I mean, look how wide that is. And it will cover a large space. So I'm just going to put that side down and line it up as best I can. Now, if it's a little wonky, that's okay. I can deal with a little bit of wonky. I need a craft knife. I think I got one up here. Oops, everything's falling over. And all I'm going to do is come right along here and score that and cut that off. Yes, I have a gap. I know that. But I'm okay with that. Roll that back up because that will stick to just about everything. So instead of coming in and wasting up, I'm going to come in here with, this is 1/2 inch score tape. Now you can completely glue this if you want to. That is definitely an option. It's just, for me, this is easier. Put that down. All right, that goes back in its place. Because if I don't put it away, okay, now set that aside. Now, as you can see, I am sticking over on different areas, like over here and around. That's okay. Set this out of the way because I've got no place to set it. Okay, let me go over there. Now, I'm not going to worry about trimming the paper down. Now, this is just the way I get ready to get my covers going on my junk journals. You know, and this is the way I start. Okay, it's going to give me a headache this morning. So I have, there it is. I don't want to set this down because it's going to stick to the paper. I tried to move my camera back a little bit so that y'all could see all that's going on today, because that cutter is kind of big. And they are, like I said, it's one of the pricier things that we indulge ourselves in. I mean, I'd rather spend the money on my tools than on supplies. I mean, here I've got that stuck. So now my whole backside, I'm not sure if it even shows it, it's all sticky tape. Oh, most of it, except little grooves. But then I'm going to come in here with my paper and plop it down. Now, yes, there are going to be wrinkles because, yes, this is folded. But that's what I was looking for. I like the wrinkles. I'm going to trim this down. Move that aside. And then my next step is I come in here and not quite 45-degree angle, but pretty close. Trim out the corners. That's one thing I hate, is having, corners that don't match or that don't close properly. I've had that happen so bad. It leaves like the tip of your corner exposed. Now, from here, I come in with my glue. Wait, yeah, I got to, because I got the tape down here. But if I fold that up first to get that crease, put my glue down, and then you have to push it over. Make sure you get right along that edge. Now, we've done, journal covers before together. And I usually wait until I'm ready to start the journal before I do this process. But, maybe you don't want to start or wait. Or maybe you're like me, you've got several journals going at the same time. Now, I try to glue right along that edge first. And then come in. I'm not worried about getting, all the way to this edge with it. I just want enough that it's going to hold it, because the inside will get matted. See, that covered that corner, but there was just that little edge there. I'll get it later. And this is where our crease was at, when our paper creased. And then push that over to the edge of your box, your cardboard. Now, if you don't want that crease there on this side, just a simple cut. And then come in here with your glue. Glue that down. And just there. Problem solved. So, I have the inside, and yes, it's not totally glued down. Like I said, I can come in here later when I decide I want to use it and mat it. But I love that wrinkle on it. And then as the glue starts to dry, very gingerly come in, because right now it's been on there, like, right down the groove, enough to where it's adhering, but it's still movable. And it has softened your paper to where you run the less of a risk of your paper cracking. So I'll go ahead and mold that in. Come in here. Now, you'll probably want your bone folder for this. And what I'm doing is, as this folds, I'm pushing that into that crease. And then do it again on this side. Push it into your crease. And there we go. Yes, it's going to be bumpy, but the glue hasn't dried yet. But look at that texture. Look at that beautiful texture. So that's ready. You know, I would wait for the glue to dry before I used it. And that's how simple. And then from here, you pull it, you figure out your cover, you can mat it, you can do a mixed media on it, whatever you want. And there you're ready to go. And those are just some of the ways that, now I will not put this into here until it dries. So until it dries, I'll just set it on top and then set the whole container aside. Yes, I still have some more to do, but I wanted to come on and share with you the process that I do when I have way too much in my bin and I need to do something with. Now there's still things in here that I still have to cut down. And one of them, I mean, look at this. I found this and I just thought that is the neatest thing. Because, I mean, look at your boxes. The box itself, there's really nothing, you know, great about it. I can't really use it as a journal or what, but it's what's inside. Because inside was a future journaling card. Look at that. It's hard. It's corrugated, as you can, I don't know if you can see that. But, well, it was stiff. I just bent it. But that's a perfect size for a journaling card. Out of a box that I was going to throw away, and instead decided to look inside. Look everywhere. Don't leave excuse me, you know, yeah, because when you look at it, there's really nothing there to use. I mean, I suppose, you know, you could get a tag or whatever out of it, but I'm not going to worry with that one. I still have more cookie boxes and envelopes that I need to do something with, and another piece of that wonderful paper. So always look to see what you've got and see what you can use rather than what you can buy. So if you've enjoyed what I shared with you today, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to share what I've shared with you with your friends. So until later, bye guys.